Major League Baseball was one of the first North American sports to retire a number, but they weren't the first. The first sport to retire a number was the National Hockey League in 1934, 5 years before MLB's first retired number. Granted, MLB didn't have a ton of options to retire numbers, as having a number didn't become commonplace around the league until 1929. Now, retired numbers are often associated with statistical performance and success on the field, at least for players and managers, but that's not really why they started. It all begins with Ace Bailey, a hockey player who signed with the Maple Leafs in 1926, not to be confused with the Utah Jazz's Ace Bailey. Like all sports, the statistical standard changes greatly over time, but Ace Bailey led the Maple Leafs in scoring in multiple seasons and even led the entire NHL in goals and points in his third season, which ended up placing him second for the Hart Trophy. However, none of that is the primary reason why Bailey got his number retired. In a game against the Boston Bruins, a Bruins player named Eddie Shore was checked by one of Bailey's teammates, King Clancy. In an effort of retaliation, Shore sought vengeance on Clancy, but mistakenly charged Bailey. Once he hit Bailey, he would proceed to hit his head on the ice and fracture his skull. The fracture and subsequent hemorrhaging were so intense that he was in a coma for over a week. Thankfully, Bailey survived, and he ended up living a full life until he was 88 years old. Because of this tragic event, the NHL held an All-Star Game benefit to raise money for his recovery. On top of that, the Maple Leafs chose to honor Bailey by retiring his number 6 in 1934, never to be used again, barring special circumstances. 5 years later, Major League Baseball would begin its own retired number tradition, and the second sport to do it. On June 19, 1939, which was Lou Gehrig's birthday, Gehrig was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS. Gehrig's diagnosis confirmed his suspicion that he had been losing strength and coordination on the field, but he wasn't sure why. It didn't take long after that for Gehrig to decide to retire from baseball, and as the Yankees designated July 4th, 1939 as Lou Gehrig Appreciation Day, and he delivered his famous speech, they also retired his number 4 to never be worn by a Yankee player again.